today we are going to a couple of Goodwills. So this is the first stop, and always checking out the end caps. They had some Halloween stuff there. Nothing that stood out to me. Looking at this little ornament. Or actually, I don't think that is an ornament, is it? The price was not conducive for reselling. So it did go back. Okay, so this piece is amazing, and I do pick it up. I also pick up this snowman. He's an incense burner. I don't think I showed that very well. He looks sort of new. I am pretty sure I listed it as pre-owned, even though it was kind of still in an original box. I just couldn't confirm if it had ever been used or not, so I went ahead and listed it as used. Now the pottery piece of the Mary and Joseph on the donkey, I didn't catch it at the time, but after I got home it was broken, so I had to return it. And this was cute here, but it is also missing a piece. It could be fixed easily, but I'm not going to fix it, and so it loses quite a bit of value when someone else has to do the repair, so it stayed behind. My husband got a cart for me, because a lot of times I start without a cart. That was interesting. It's like a Santa Easter bunny. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Okay, that cat is a little startling. I can't remember what price he was, but it was a little startling. It reminds me of like the Alice in Wonderland. And that was neat. I wanted to look at that little basket there, but as you can see when I turned around, that lady had her cart sitting there. But I pulled this out. I do put it in the cart. But when I look it up later, it just doesn't have a lot of value, and the sell-through rate isn't that great, so I do end up putting it back. I look at the lamps. I'm not sure why I do this, because I would not ever want to ship one. So that took me back to, sun tea days. I took a look at some precious moments. Some of them can sell, but with as many as there have been made, the amount that can sell for, decent money is pretty slim. I thought this plate was very interesting. Now, I put it in my cart, and it does end up getting put back. And I can't remember if it's because the sell-through rate or if I found something wrong with it. I'm sure it's talked about in all reselling videos, but the Goodwill prices just seem to get higher and higher. I thought that vase was pretty, but you could see it had the crack. I thought that was interesting. I don't know anything about that, so I do put it back because there was also only one of them. So if you ever see anything that I do not pick up that has good value, leave a comment below. It can be a learning experience for all of us. The shelves were packed on this day, so there's a lot to look at. I do find myself, like when it's busy, I think I've talked about this before. When it's busy, I feel a little more distracted and I don't do as good of a job as I could. Just picking up some stuff off the floor. And this is the area where sometimes you can find some new old stock items that will still have a little bit of value. Sometimes a lot of value, it just depends on what it is. And today, I'm not really going to spend any time on coffee mugs. Just going to go right past him. That's an old false graph pattern there. Unless things have changed, that does not have a lot of value. Even more coffee mugs. You know what's funny is that box, there's an Avon mug there. I think I've sold one of those before. Okay, so I'm showing you what I ended up leaving with from that stop. And of course, I already told you the one thing got returned. So now we're here to the second Goodwill. And just looking at this bag, and based on my research, like they can do not bad, like $20-ish. Unfortunately, my Goodwill has been raising their prices of the purses. They're anywhere now from like 6 to, whatever number they want to throw out. I can't remember if I've mentioned this before, but I have actually started collecting vintage Christmas stuff for my Christmas decorations. So I like to always look, and sometimes even if it has value, I will keep it. I'm gonna try and go for a vintage vibe at Christmas time. So I do pick this up. Now I will tell you, I do notice after I get it home, it had a little bit of damage. I still went ahead and sold it, and it did sell. I just notated that in the item description. I put that there was a slight bend, and then I just made sure to take a good photo of that section. Okay, so this was neat, but I wasn't quite sure. Well, it had that on there too. It almost felt like there might have been another piece that was missing as well. So looking at this set, it is the Delft, but because every little piece is priced separately, it just becomes too much money into it to make a good sell. So I pick up this fossil bag, and at a cursory look, I don't think it even had a price on it. I think, because I do purchase it, and I think it was $9.99. However, I do end up returning it because one thing I did not notice is one of the straps. It was really coming undone, and so it's not going to have much value with that. And it had some other marks on the outside, which I did notice those at the time, and I thought, well, I could probably get those off. But the one strap, it's not really fixable, so that's why I went ahead and took it back. Some more Christmas stuff down there. And that piece, I believe, just said made in China. Looks like it was probably missing a stand that it goes into. And you do get a look at that purse a lot in the rest of this video. This was intriguing, and this is when I was not a good reseller. I did not look it up. I just put it back. It was kind of heavy, and again, with shipping and everything else, it's a balancing act on reselling, especially nowadays with shipping rates increasing. You got to make sure that it's not too expensive on shipping for what the actual item is worth. That was a 3D stocking. this was not marked. I don't know if it was handmade or just not marked. More coffee mugs. That was kind of like a stained glass. I think it might have been like a luminary or something. A little ghost candle holder. So what I'm pointing at is a pressure cooker. I probably should have pulled that out and looked it up, because those can have some good value. I did not notice that until I was editing this video. And here's what's funny. We had a yard sale and donated stuff. I donated that. That's one of those photo lens coffee cups. Now this tin was interesting. I'm not sure why I didn't pick it up. I mean, it was kind of basic, but I thought for decor it had an interesting look. Looking at all the beauty stuff up there. So what I typically do, if you're new here, you don't know this, but especially in like the beauty section and stuff like that, what I will do is I will pull down anything that looks like it might be priced right, so I can look it up and see if it's going to be worth purchasing. And I do that with almost all new, old stock, new in package items. So those two that I've pulled down already, those do not have value. Those do go back. So this is an old float, and I do pick that up. And I always double check soaps. Those actually did go back. All right, so not a ton. So I think essentially 2 items picked up today. A lot put in the cart, but not a lot kept. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And as always, have a great day. Until next time.